His presence is here.
Memories of a beloved father.
He was my best friend. He adored me. I adored him.
A bond Bonnie Cole Willis says will never be broken as she recalls the dad who served his country.
So this is the Purple Heart medal that Daddy received while serving in the U.S. Army.
His family.
He always put others first.
And the Lord.
He was a born-again Christian.
Charles William Cole would walk into his only child's home for the very last time Father's Day 2003.
But I could tell that in looking at his face, I could tell that something was going on. He wasn't quite the daddy that I knew.
When did you know something was wrong?
It was over the 4th of July weekend, and I was trying to get in touch with him. I had called him on his home phone, and he had an answering machine. I just said something like, "Daddy, call me."
3 more days would pass before Cole's sister drove to check on him. She'd pull up to his Coleborough Road residence in Chesterfield July 7th, 2003.
It was a shocking scene.
Where she'd find her brother's lifeless body in a pond behind his home just days before his 80th birthday.
So this is going to be the pond that we responded to where we found the victim's body at.
Lieutenant Brad Connor, Chesterfield Police.
Looked like the body had probably been in the pond for several days. That death was ruled as a drowning by the medical examiner's office.
Did your father know how to swim?
Absolutely.
I mean, did you accept the fact that he drowned?
There's no question in my mind that he couldn't have actually drowned.
Nearly 15 years after her dad's death, Bonnie confirmed her suspicion when she reached out to the Chesterfield Police Department and requested her dad's investigative file under the Freedom of Information Act. This after the case was briefly opened in 2011 at the request of another family member.
What I found was shocking.
Bonnie was provided with around 200 pages of documents from her father's 2003 accidental death investigation.
What was the smoking gun?
The smoking gun was a body diagram that showed the front and the back of my father's body.
A diagram that showed multiple lacerations that were explained in her father's original autopsy as having maggot activity and some that corresponded with defects in Cole's shirt, but it states without any evidence of blood.
Did they not see that there were cuts or blood on the body?
There was nothing that was overtly obvious initially, and when the body was transported to the medical examiner's office, with them ruling it as a drowning, it kind of tied our hands.
But Bonnie said it didn't take a trained eye to see what she considered to be obvious.
My first thought in looking at it was, oh my God, he was stabbed.
A grieving daughter is convinced her father's been murdered. But is it enough to convince investigators to reopen a decade-and-a-half-old case? Next, the pleas, the pain, and the promises.
I think right now he'd be looking down at me and he'd be saying, "You're doing a good job. You're gonna find out what happened to me."
17 years have been wasted, but what would your response to that be?